Good morning, everybody. It's the Big K Experience and the Spilt Milk Show with the B. And today we're going to be talking about a confidant. How do you pick one of those? Are you harder on yourself? Well, stop it, you idiot. Tattoos, how they fight infections. I'll break it down for you. Secrets to having great sex, and good God, TikTok, what's wrong with you? All coming up. So I realized after my wife had passed away that I needed someone to talk to. But I needed someone to talk to that wasn't in the realm of my world, you know? Someone that didn't know all my friends, someone that didn't know my background. I just needed someone to vent to that had an understanding about life somewhat and could just bounce back to me what I needed to know. So I had met someone on Facebook that could be just that. She was a great chick, really lovely, really nice, and she became my confidant. I would tell her almost everything. Every thought I had, I would be able to talk to her about because she didn't know anything about me really other than what she had seen on Facebook. I found out later that her dad and her were friends with my entire family. And we didn't realize that for a while because we didn't have the same Facebook friends. So that being the case, we didn't really pay attention. And I had enough friends where I didn't notice she was friends with one of my nieces. But then you think sometimes, she might have ran into her because she's a nurse. At the office or something like that, and then, you know, friended them. Who knows? Who knows? But what I do know is that having that person to talk to literally made a difference in my life because I could complain about people that she didn't know. I could complain about my work that she would never come show up to because we lived in different cities. It was just a great person to have around. So if you don't have a confidant, you should definitely get one. Someone that you can express any idea to and won't judge you for it. I won't judge pretty much anyone for anything. I've been through some things in my life, and if I've not been through them, I've seen them happen because I've met so many people in my lifetime, and I appreciate that fact, and I think that's what makes me more well-rounded. But you need someone outside of your environmental influences so that you could grow as a person because those people they have no judgment on the people you're talking about. They can only get from what you describe, so they'll ask you questions, and they'll find out what the root of the situation is. And that's kind of what peer support's for, because I used to do it back to her whenever she had problems with her boyfriend or problems with her family or problems at work. She could tell me, and I have no perspective on the situation other than the perspective she builds for me. So I had another confidant after that. Wasn't as good with some dude. Ended up meeting up with him. It ended up very poorly. So I realized that for me, the opposite sex was a better confidant. For a couple of reasons. One, guys have a guy's perspective, so it's always kind of the same, you know? A girl has obviously a woman's perspective. And I believe that a lot of the wonderful things in this world that make you feel like a better person come from women. Their smiles, their laugh, the way they're sincere, compassionate, all of those things that men most of the time are not. So, or if they are, they're not to a degree that women are. So it's to me more potent to have a confidant that's a woman than a man. And I don't know if that'd be the same for other women, having a confidant that's a woman, because you would get that same perspective. So maybe they just make better confidants. However, I make an awesome one myself because we stayed in touch for a very long time until things just got crazy for both of us. She moved to another state. It sucks because I really like hanging out with her. Anyways, so I've got another confidant now. And with this girl, I can do no wrong. Like anything I say that I've done that I'm ashamed of, she'll be like, well, what did they do to deserve it? Like, well, what did they do to make you upset? So she always gives me I have to defend them, which gives me the perspective of their point of view. And that is important to me because a lot of times I don't see their point of view. In fact, a lot of times I don't even see what my part in the situation was, which you always have one. I was telling somebody that when I used to go to church, because of my partying days and the way I treated people after I had almost lost the radio job and stuff, I wasn't a very dependable person, I should say. And I had done some things that made me very upset, and I would go to church and I'd feel so terrible about myself because I thought if I ever ran into Jesus and I had to explain to him what I'd done, I can't say it was because of someone else because it was my choice, it was my action, my frame of mind, my willingness to be in that environment at that time. So that being the case, then how am I supposed to make excuses for what I've done? I can only say what I've done. And that to me is a little harsh because I can't like fluff it up a little bit, which we all tend to do, right? Everybody loves a good fluffer. So, anyways, the situation is I can tell her things and she will get me to defend the people who I had hurt or the people around me that I may be disagreeing with or whatever the case may be because she believes in me and I believe in her. So it's really impressive to have that relationship with someone. And we also live in different cities, so we can't really run into each other or run into the same people. It's only the perspective we build for each other. And that's what is important with a confidant or a peer support specialist, if you have one of those, is the environment you build around each other. The only problem with a peer support specialist is they can't really tell you about their lives. They can only tell you about some of their experiences. So they're not really going to complain to you. So you're not going to get the back and forth of a confidant. However, a peer support can give you a better path to a resolve, I guess. Your own resolve. It's not theirs. It's not their advice. It's their questions that lead you to a resolve, which is what I was trained to do in this past month or so. That was really cool to learn what a peer support does, and then obviously becoming certified. I am certifiable, that's for sure. The more I think about it, the more wild I become, you know, and the more out there I am as I think of situations and places and situations I put myself in. What?
Did you know Valley View Medical Center's mission is making communities healthier? We do that by offering a spectrum of services locally. Procedures for gastroenterology, orthopedic, ear, nose, and throat, pulmonary, women's health, and more are performed at the medical center. Whether inpatient or outpatient, you can confidently stay close to home for your joint replacement, colonoscopy, or ENT procedures. To learn more, go to valleyviewmedicalcenter.net.
So when you mess up, do you give yourself a break? Or do you bring yourself down using harsh language you never unleash on a friend? Many of us do the latter, but those who are compassionate with themselves tend to have greater happiness. And luckily, says Kristen Neff, PhD, Associate Psychology Professor at the University of Texas at Austin and co-author of the Mindful Self-Compassion Workbook. We all can learn to be gentler to ourselves. We've learned how to be supportive, how to be warm to others, she points out, but we don't know how to do that to ourselves. So, that's true a lot of the times. Like today I was having a problem getting through the intro because I couldn't get the list out there. So I was like, oh, you bleep and bleep, 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 bleep. So right after I read this, I thought, well, at least I'm compassionate towards myself. But I am not most of the time if it's frustrating. I like to curse at myself a little bit, give myself that extra oomph in order to succeed. But I need to learn, all right, calm it down. You'll do this. You can handle this. You could be better at this. Just take your time, focus, and get it done. So, in the midst of me complaining to myself, obviously at the end when I actually got it done was because I went, all right, we can do this. Let's do this. Let's do this. Last time, guys. Last time. So then, boom, I nailed it. But that's because I started supporting myself rather than judging myself, you know, and that's one of the important aspects of your life you need to have is the idea that you can do better, but believing in yourself that you can do better and not being ashamed that you have not done better, because obviously in order to do better you have to constantly work for it. Otherwise you would be complacent, like I told you guys a couple videos ago. And once you're complacent, you're as good as you're gonna get, and then how can you be better? You know what I'm saying? So to fail is to be better, eventually. Does my hair look terrible today? I swear to God it does. I mean, it normally doesn't look all that great, but it's like right here, dude, what is this? It's like a part that's not there. I could feel the hair. It's like blonde hair that just makes everything look terrible. It's speaking of looks. Want to avoid getting a cold? Get tattoos. Those who have multiple tattoos have a stronger immune system than those who aren't inked, which makes them better able to fight infections. However, receiving just one tattoo has the opposite effect, lowering your resistance to germs. According to a trio of researchers from the University of Alabama, the body's response to tattooing is akin to that experience from exercising in the gym when you're out of shape. So, obviously I only have one tattoo. It's a substantially sized tattoo, but it's only one, so I need to go get another one. I have one that I want to get right here that says created in his image, what kind of man should I be, so I can be reminded with a cross what kind of world I want to create around me. But that being the case, I still need to get another tattoo because obviously I am successful right now, according to the University of Alabama. Soreness fades and the muscles become stronger following frequent workouts. The study found when receiving a tattoo, the body mobilizes immunological agents to fight possible infections at the site of the new tattoo. Translation, repeated tattooing makes your immune system stronger. Dude, I've seen some people, now I don't know if they're on drugs or whatever, but they are tatted to whatever, and they look sickly, dude. So I don't know, maybe it's their diets or the fact that they're on drugs. I don't know what the case. I'm not just saying because you're on tattoos, you're on drugs. Because I mean, you could be a drunk too. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. That was a terrible thing to say. But nevertheless, some of them look very sickly. So obviously this is not a 100% effective way of fighting off germs or building your immune system, but it's definitely a positive outlook on tattoos. I'll give you that much. So you want the secret to great sex? I haven't found it yet, but these guys say they have. It's very sweet, actually. Affection. Cuddle time. Whispering secrets and words of affection after sexual relations is what boosts contentedness, according to research from the University of Toronto. I don't know if I said that right, but we'll get to it. This is why couples who regularly have sex tend to be happier than those who don't. Obviously, I know the guy's happier. Selfish mother. The study, led by Anik Debro, the team conducted 4 studies of couples in the US and Switzerland. The couples revealed the frequency of sex as well as how often they shared affectionate moments. In addition, 2 of the studies asked the couple about their typical habits. While 2 of them tracked them over a specific time period, the results in general, those who were more sexually active were also happier and had a greater satisfaction with life. In addition, they expressed more positive emotions. Obviously, they're getting laid on the regular. That's something that we all need. Something that makes you a better person, kind of. So, what's up, ladies? Let's get to this. Let's make me a better person. But the key to it all was not the sexual act. Rather, it was affection that was largely responsible for the link between sex and happiness. Here's the link between cuddling and sex. That's a positive link. I think anyone cuddles and tries to not have sex, you got problems, man. You got problems. I don't know how you pull that off. Unless you're just like been together for so long. But every time me and my wife cuddled, or any of my girlfriends, me and them cuddled, it was on and popping for me. They had to fight the good fight if they didn't want to, make the sweet, sweet loving. However, if they would have just bit the bullet, we could have got it over with, and then we could have cuddled all day long. I wouldn't have cared. I don't care about cuddling afterwards. I mean, as long as I have a cigarette afterwards. Yeah, I'm not much of a cuddler, now that we brought it up. Whatever. So, good God, TikTok. Someone gets on here and just does something on TikTok that's amazingly dumb. And this is amazingly weird and kind of pervy. And humanity sinks another notch lower as a mother has been filmed letting her teenage son slap her breasts to the tune of a song as part of a bizarre TikTok challenge. I don't know how to take this really because I haven't seen the video. Aiden Writing, 17, filmed the inexplicable video and uploaded it to social media last week in a strange attempt to gain more followers. The 8-second video starts with the 2 standing opposite each other as the 2008 hit Undercover Martin by Two Door Cinema Club plays. The teenager dances to the tune before hitting one breast after the other in quick succession in time with the beat. Now, obviously they have a strong relationship. I don't think it's like a weirdo pervy thing. It's just a weird thing to do, bro. Like, why did you do that? But again, him and his mom must be comfortable with the idea and not think breasts are that big of a deal. I don't know how to put that really, where I'm comfortable with saying it. The moms, they both start laughing afterwards. But Writing's got plenty of grief from TikTok users for the stunt, but later said, I thought it was really funny and I needed to do the video for laughs on my TikTok page. I'm saying if he's like flamboyantly gay, maybe it's not so big of a deal. Maybe. Because he doesn't really care about them. He can't be attracted to his mom's breasts because he's not attracted to breasts at all. But if he's not gay, like I couldn't see doing that to any of my family members, period. Like any of my family members. Whether it be my mom, my sister, my nieces, my cousins, doesn't matter. I don't see myself doing that to anyone in my family. So, I don't know, Writing. I think you should have maybe not done that and picked a better tactic in order to make that happen. Unless your mom just started swinging on you. Because I have seen daughters do it to moms on TikTok. Just messing with the mom or the aunt or the grandma or something like that. So I could see why maybe he justified it, because like you could see daughters doing it to moms. But it would be no different than if you went up to your dad and nut checked him during a video. It would be funny because you're both guys and it's just not that big of a deal. You're not attracted to him at all. So if the kid's gay, I get it, I guess. If he's not gay, that was weird. You shouldn't have done it. But either way, maybe you can check out his TikTok. Get him the views at least, because I guess he's been getting hated on. So Aiden Writing is the TikTok member. I don't know what his username is, if there is one. I'm not very familiar with TikTok. I need to get on it more. I think I'm going to do it today. I'm gonna do some TikTok in a day, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm gonna enjoy the experience. Thanks for being part of mine. It's the Big K Experience in the Spilt Milk Show with the B.